Warning: this video contains about my opinion about the character, and this doesn't affect the whole algorithm with the character Chun-Li. If you have an opinion or something that you like to add, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section. Other than that, feel free to enjoy the video. Chun-Li Zhang, one of, if not the most popular female character ever be shown in the Street Fighter community and the FGC, in my opinion, where you have pro players such as Justin Won using Chun-Li in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, where she was a top one out of all the characters in that game. And then you had Valmaster and Infiltration using her in Street Fighter 4. There were a few other Chuns in Street Fighter 5. I don't know the rest of them, but the only one I do remember is Momochi. That's all I know, so please forgive me on that. However, when you think of Street Fighter 6 Chun-Li, 9 times out of 10, they would not compete well in tournaments. Now, this is because due to the player base on using other characters that are better in the matchup, being your JPs, your Bisons, your Kens, and comes to think of it, when was the last time you saw Chun-Li reaching like top five or around top eight in Evo or Capcom Cup? I think the last time I recall on Chun-Li almost winning a major like Capcom Cup and Evo, it was 2023 Evo where Haitani reached top five with modern Chun-Li, and 2024 Capcom Cup 10 you had what's it called? Lee Shah reaching top six, losing to I'm not too sure who it was, but I'll put a picture on the results on the video here now, so you can have a little witness. Now, some of you might question in the comment section below, asking why did I not add in Valmaster into the topic on Capcom Cup 10? Now, the reason for that being is because after doing some research, Valmaster did not win a single set in his group stage, and I'll put a picture here showing the results. This is because he was facing characters like Luke, Rashid, and Ken, and when using those three characters in the Chun-Li matchup, it's almost on their advantage because they got better tools. And I'm not saying Chun's got bad tools; she's got very good tools, but using them wisely and good are very tricky to use in the match. So with that, you got to be like more keen on your patience and how to like use them wisely. Otherwise, you don't want to like start like mashing and going impatient, and then that will cost you the match. And while I'm editing this video, we're close to 2026. Since we're coming to an end of this year, lately Chun-Li has just been a not so good character to use. This is because on the many characters that have been added recently in this year and last year, being your Akumas, your Bisons, your Mais, and there's characters in the base roster being like your Kamis, and then you have season one with Rashid or Eds, and I did say Akuma, but season two Chun-Li was like nowhere to be seen when it came to tournaments because you had characters such as like Mai or Bison, any of those types of characters, but Mai in particular. This is because on Mai's easy input uh, schematics, better tools to use in the matchup, and of course, better executions and does less result but does more damage. I don't know if that's how you would say it, but that's how I'd say it. Please forgive me on that one, guys. Because of that, you had pro players such as Moke was one of the best Chun Li players during end of season one, since Lee Shah at that point moved to Ed before season two started or began season two. But when Mai got dropped, Moke and a few other Chun pros moved away from Chun Li and they started playing more of Mai and started doing better results in tournament than they did with Chun Li, which is kind of the sad result when you see Chun Li because she's the queen of fighting game characters, but she's the queen without a crown because when you think of Chun Li, like you're overthinking obviously, oh, strongest woman in the world. True, but no result when it comes to tournament winning and such. Now, before I say anything else, I know some of you would also be like, but you forgot to mention that this year Goichi started playing. Well, he won a World Warrior with Chun Li. That is true and all. I'll give you that as well. However, when it comes to actual any other results, I'm on about like Evo or Capcom Cup or EWC. Have we won anything? No, we have not won a single major trophy. But then you had like Kami, who won it last year with when Punk won Evo 2024. You had Ken winning 2023. You had Jury winning Capcom Cup, and then you had JP winning Capcom Cup. When you think of Chun Li as of now, people would think, and some pros have mentioned that she's just as like Guile, but worse. Now, the reason for that being is because Chun-Li is a charge input character, same as Guile. However, Guile's projectiles are more better to use in the matchup, and Guile can easily just stay defensive when he can do his DP, which is an easy way to deal with people who jump in after Fireball. But sadly enough, Chun-Li can't do that because Chun-Li's recovery for a fireball is pretty slow compared to like other characters, obviously who charge inputs like DJ or Guile, as I said before. However, when it comes to player pick, the last time I checked, Chun Li is around 22 out of the player roster, so that's like quite bad as to where her popularity is. Now, Chun Li's normals are still pretty good as of I'm editing this, obviously. However, the execution wise, as I've said before, is the main reason why players don't want to pick her because the Serenity Stream is the reason why they don't want to like use Chun Li is because that tool can also sometimes be a bit of a pickle to master when you're learning the character at the start. That's why many new players that want to play Street Fighter, they would normally go to players or characters, sorry, to be more easy and more execution, but less annoying to get annoyed when inputting something like, example, your Mai's, your Ryu's, your Ken's, or your Luke's, Guile, like anything you can think of. And then you have Chun Li, who has to do a different set of tools just to do a combo. Like you can do the basic combos like medium punch and crouching medium into lightning kicks, true. But if you want to do like a corner carry combo, you have to do the Serenity Stream. Otherwise, how are you gonna like carry on or improve in yourself? You have to learn or master the Serenity Stream. If not, then that's it. You'll probably not do well with Chun Li because you can play like Guile, as I've said before, but obviously the DP is not as good compared to Guile's because in this game input reads are sometimes mediocre. But at the end of the day, it all depends on how Capcom want to either nerf or buff characters. But in my opinion, I say Chun should get like a little bit of a redone or something that can make it a bit more easier for us to win majors or any pros to win. But that's just a dream I'm hoping to see in the future, like a Chun Li winning a Evo or a Capcom Cup. And as the end of the day, we'll just have to wait and see because if we don't seem to have it, then it's just going to be the same as I said before. Chun Li is just going to be a queen without the crown, and that's what's going to make me upset because I like Chun Li. Chun Li's a cool character, but when it comes to results in tourneys, is not so good because, as I've said many times in this video, sorry if I keep repeating myself, you have better characters that have better tools or results when it comes to the algorithm with Street Fighter 6's meta, as in like rush down, but Chun Li's more patient. But at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see. on what will happen in the future, because when there's a will, there's a way, and I believe that at some point Chun-Li will win a major, and it will actually, in a way, stop the curse that we've got on being the most favorable female character in any fighting game and not win a an Evo or a Capcom Cup. But anyway, this wraps up with today's video. If you have an opinion about what I said, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section below. My Discord will be in the description below. And if you want to look at anything else, you can look at some of my recent videos beforehand. Other than that, I will wish you all the best and a Merry Christmas. Peace.
Costly mistake.